I gotta stop betting on sports, dog. Like this ain't going out. This ain't going well for me. I mean, I did hit last night, but
Oh, you bet on college?
I bet on college, bro. Like I'm about to just leave the NFL alone, bro. Like this shit too unpredictable, dog. Like it really is, bro.
You know what's funny? I have a guy, Miami Jokes, I believe, and every week he gives out his picks, bro. That shit should be wrong as fuck. and this week he was like, all right, guys, last week I ain't make no money. But this week, you're like, pick the Bucks.
Yeah.
And the Bucks getting their ass
Get
beat.
their ass handed to them.
So,
dog.
like, it's just hilarious when I sit there and see. But when you see motherfuckers that's actually making money from this shit, man.
But the thing is, you see motherfuckers making money, but they don't show you the losses and the losses upon losses, bro. So it's like, everybody gonna show you the dubs. Nobody's willing to show you the L's, bro. Like, a lot of people don't show you the L's.
Yeah, but if you know you're taking chances, the whole point is when you hit big. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what I tried to do. I had put 2 tickets in. You feel me? If they would have hit, I would have brought $5,000 today. Those are not looking like they finna hit for me, for the boy, at all. For various reasons, bro. So yeah, bro. I just gotta take that L, man. But episode 134. How you doing, my boy?
Hey, fam, it's hilarious, dog, because on my way here, I had a motherfucker driving on the opposite side of the road, dog. And it was the scariest thing in my life, bro.
What street?
Rock Island.
Wow.
Motherfucker, I was driving straight, and I'm looking at this car coming. I was like, hold up, what? Huh? What's going on, bro? My heart beating. And when I realized I'm looking at headlights, I switched lanes. And the motherfucker just drove straight past me. I was just honking the horn, dog. I was just like, bruh, what are you doing, dog?
That happened to
Midday,
me as
fam.
well, but it was at night, and I'm pretty sure the person was drunk because I seen the headlights from a distance. But you're just not used to that, so you don't even think, like, you don't process it. That you like, that looks strange. I see headlights, and they got closer and closer and closer, and they drove past me, and I'm like, I had to make sure I was on the right side of the road. Like, okay, I'm not tripping, bro. And yeah, I've seen it, but it's only ever happened to me once in my life. And that was this year. This was like earlier sometime this year, bro. So niggas clearly don't give a fuck no more, bro.
No, but you got to understand. If you know Rock Island, it was between McNabb and like Shamo.
Shamo Tanner, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm driving, I just see this shit. I was like, yo. The fucked up thing is I'm looking at my rearview mirror and I see this motherfucker driving straight into traffic. It's like, you don't notice that you're driving on the wrong side of the road, my boy? like you don't see that, bro?
Stuff like that is scary because it's like, all right, are you dealing with an idiot or are you dealing with somebody who's trying to take somebody's life with them, right? And you don't really know. You don't know. You don't even have time to process, bro. You're bewildered because you're like, yo, what the fuck is going on, dog? Like, I could see with my situation when I seen it happen, I could see somebody, I don't know how, but maybe I could process you making the wrong turn or you ended up on that side of the road. At night, you feel me? You might miss it, whatever. In the broad daylight.
That's cold turkey, man. Thankfully, watching through my rear view, it did not look like he caused an accident, which was my biggest fear. But in that situation, dog, like midday, you gotta understand, you seeing people driving past you. You gotta get off the road, dog, and do the right thing. But hey, man, you know what? No one got hurt. I'm happy, but my heart was pulsing for like a good minute. It's like, what the fuck was that, dog? I didn't expect that midday, bro. Like that shit was crazy.
That shit seemed like it's still fucking with you a little bit, dog. Like,
well, it's still like I can understand making the wrong turn, but once
you're supposed to identify that and immediately rectify that.
Yeah, like what do you mean you drove the whole street and he had his blinker on? So it's just like. Nah, man. I mean, like I said, happily nothing happened. No one got hurt.
That you're aware of, that you know.
Nah, man. Because when I watched, it seemed like he got he got out the way when he realized there was gonna be nothing but cars that's coming his way. So, but he was flying too. It ain't like he was just driving slow. He was flying and shit. I was like, well, goodness gracious, everything happened great. No one got hurt. I would have been sad to be like something happened on the news. Motherfucker killed somebody.
See, those are the motherfuckers that I wish there was cops. Like, where the cops? When I see shit like that, I'm like, bro, where the cops at, bro? Like,
they living life, man. They missing the thing. A situation that happened to me, and I was happy there with no cops around. I got a fender bender with a bunch of like old white people, dog. And it's just simple thing of not paying attention, and I just bumped it. And the old white lady was like, "Oh, I wish a cop would just drive by." I was like, there was no, it wasn't bad enough to get a scratch. It wasn't nothing like that. It was like a little doop. You know what I'm saying? Not
so
paying
there was
attention.
no dent, no nothing.
Nah, but once you get that, you fucked. You know what I'm saying? That's an accident, period. I've been lucky a bunch of times where, a little something, it wasn't worth, calling the cops over and shit like that. But, if you've been on the road in Florida, bro, shit like that happens, dog.
All the fucking time, bro.
All the time.
I remember I told the story. And by the way, everybody's listening, bro. It's just me and Gerson. Rod couldn't make this episode, bro. So, you feel me? If you wondering where Rod's going to come in, he ain't or whatever. So, just throwing it out there. But I did tell the story, and it's funny that you mentioned that because I was thinking about it randomly while I was in the shower, bro. Sometimes, I just random memories, like core memories come back randomly. And I just remembered I was driving home from work, and this was on 441, and I was leaving work, and I seen the accident. This lady hit a car in front of them, and she stopped she was in the middle lane, and she stopped in the middle of the road, and she immediately put her hands in her face and started fucking crying and weaving and shit like that, because she didn't realize that the person that she hit, and I'm assuming based off their reaction, they were illegal aliens, bro, because they just took off and was like flipping her off. I've never seen a car move that fast in my life. I see them take off and hit the turn and just leave the scene. She's in the middle of the road crying, bro, because she realized she just fucked up. It's one of the funniest things I've ever got to see in person, dog. And it's funny because for the longest, I'm not going to say I was jealous, but I always wanted to see an accident happen, right?
Why?
Because it's one of the things like, okay, I want to know what it feels like to see an accident. I can't really explain it.
Any accidents? Like
any accident, nothing bad, just any accident, right? Like,
no, but as a youngin', you never seen any?
I never seen an accident. I seen the results of an accident. I
you
seen
never
the
was
aftermath.
Involved in one?
I was involved, but I wanted to see it from that perspective of not being involved in an accident. Because I was involved in an accident. I've been in 2 accidents, I want to say. So I've been involved in an accident. So I got the first person experience, but I wanted to see it happen in real time. Just because of situations like that, the reaction from the people involved, like, what is going to happen? What are these people going to do? Like, how did you even let this accident happen? Like, what level of bad driving was necessary for this to happen, bro? So I've always been inquisitive of all of those things. So to see an accident and finally see it happen, and to see another accident happen 2 weeks later on the same street, bro.
What street are you talking about?
This was on 441 in between Sample and Coconut Creek Parkway. I seen 2 accidents coming from work, both same street. The one I just detailed and another one where it was a guy in a truck. He was in the middle lane. I guess he realized he needed to make his turn. So he turned from the middle lane and just drove right in front of somebody, bro. And that person drove right into him, dog. And then he had the audacity to get out of the car and be like mad at the dude that hit him like it was his fault, bro. Like, nigga, you went from the middle lane and tried to turn into a parking lot, bro.
That's wild.
Like, yeah, man. Yeah, there's a lot of people that are getting their shit from fucking grocery. A lot of motherfuckers getting their license out of cereal boxes, bro. But episode 134. Let's go ahead and get on with the show. I know we talked pregame, and I know you wanted to I'm not gonna say address, but revisit the conversation that we had last week. It got kind of testy or temperamental. And the conversation I'm talking about is in regards to, what's going on in Springfield, Ohio.
Wait, before the cleanup, because I understand the cleanup, I want to do the public story because it's supposed to be short.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, the public story is I recall our conversation about your job, and you're talking about supply being like in stock at places, and they not really wanting to take any more new things and stuff like that. And I just want to tell you that I just went to Publix that's really near my house, like Commercial and 441. Boy, they were giving away that shit, dog. It made me laugh because at the moment they was like buy two get three free, and I had to sit there. I was like, nah, this can't. Do they mean third? Do they mean you get a third free or something like that? And then I read it. It's like, oh, get 5 and get $12 off and shit like that. I was like, God damn, boy, it's difficult, dog. I was like, all right, bro, but in my head, I was just standing there for a minute. It can't be that bad. Well, you giving me 3 free bottles for the price of 2, bro.
Dog, it is. It is. And nobody knows where I work, and I have to keep it, especially right now, I definitely got to keep it on the wraps. But I'm not even supposed to say what I'm about to say because this is business related and stuff like that. You know, luckily, our show is not big enough to where I have to be mindful or fearful of getting terminated. But no, I'm going to give it up. A lot of these places ain't buying this shit, bro. Because a lot of these places, they make their own stuff. So it's like, it's not really selling. We are in the midst of real inflation. People are trying to be as mindful and penny pinch as much as possible. I'm not spending $10 on water, on a pack of 24 pack of water, or $7 or whatever it is right now. That's
Wait,
absurd.
Do y'all choose your prices or is it? Because I know Walmart
prices of stuff, and I know that for electronics, there's a governing body that says everybody has to sell everything for the same price. That's why electronics is competitive. For the most part, that's the same thing with Publix, right? So, I mean, not Publix, but like supermarkets. It's not going to be that far off or whatever. So, Publix is more expensive because they do buy one get one free. Buy one get one free. So that's how they get the money back for when they do the buy one get ones. So they're going to price their things like $1 here or $2 more or stuff like that. But if you go to Winn-Dixie, you go to Walmart, they're pretty much the same as far as prices. It might be like 30 cents off or something like that because you basically have to. You can't because it has to make sure that no one store has a monopoly on the prices and stuff like that. Otherwise, the other stores will not be able to survive. So the thing is, though, the stores that can produce their own product, they're winning. Trader Joe's is winning. Aldi is winning. I shop at Aldi. That's where I get my cheese. That's where I get my produce from. That's where I get my meat from. That's 100% where I get my fruits from. Like, the cheapest place to get fruits right now is Aldi. I don't know what kind of bullshit fruits they getting. I don't know what kind of deal they cutting, but fuck it, bro. I'm probably increasing my chances of cancer tenfold, bro, but fuck it. It is what it is. So that's primarily where I exclusively shop specifically for snacks, fruits, and vegetables. So a lot of these like my company is a huge company and we're struggling. Like, we're not putting out stuff. We're laying people off at my warehouse. We have drivers that are not even having routes right now, dog. Because a lot of these stores are saying, nah, we good, bro. This shit ain't moving, bro. Like, there's people that I know that are good workers that just got laid off in my job. So it's rough right now, bro. Like, if this is not the time to be in that industry. I say that 100%.
Yeah, I agree.
It is what it is, bro.
I got you.
You had anything more to say, or do you want to move on?
Nah.
All right, so so last week we talked about Springfield, Ohio. And I wasn't gonna bring it up, but the fact that you wanted to bring it up, it actually works because I wanted to do a cleanup. Like, me thinking about it, I'm like, yeah, there's some stuff I want to clean up as well. So the floor is yours, bro.
All right, so my cleanup is more of I want people to understand where I'm coming from, what I was trying to say, and what I was trying to get to, and I was just too busy yelling at. But my thing is more like when I meant figure it out, I just meant go somewhere else. In the conversation, I said, hey, man, it's too late. Because once you get a dirty name and whoever believes it, I know most people don't, but whoever believes it, they're going to believe it. And it's not simply the situation of, oh, they're eating cats and dogs. They're also screaming about they're taking resources, houses that cost 25,000. The government bought them and gave it to some Haitians and raised the price up to 125K and stuff like that. I understand the anger, but understand housing is going up everywhere. Uh, Food, all that stuff going up everywhere. And I do honestly feel that part of it is they got mad with the jobs and they they thought, oh, it's cool, I won't work for you. But then they just found cheaper labor, which is the American way. You know what I'm saying? That's what built this country is them finding cheaper labor every chance they get. It first started with the slaves, then it became any immigrant. So, like, my empathy meter is very low. My my feeling sorry for people is very low. I mean what I say when I say figure it out, because this is the country we live in, and no one cares if you cry or not. No one cares, bro. That's just how it is in this society in America. But yeah, man. Like, I want better for my people, and I know they're gonna find better because that's just the way Haitians move. Um, there's a great community of Haitians in Boston. They could possibly move up there and find a way and stuff like that. But figuring out goes to everyone in this that's listening, everyone out there. Uh, it's just more like shit don't work, find something that does. And every day, it seems like the labor pool is getting worse, but point of it is finding out, going somewhere, trying new skills, figuring out the way to make money to survive. And that's for everybody. That's not just for immigrants. That's for everybody. And I want to say apologize, but the world showed me how cold it is and I accepted it. Now I just move that way. You know what I'm saying?
No, and that's why I want to clean up on my end too, because what in the midst of us going back and forth, I even before I listened to it again, and I came to terms with the fact that you were 100% right, and that's what I hate. What gets lost in us going back and forth is that sometimes we're arguing the same things, but we're just arguing it from different perspectives. Because our point, and I'm not going to say our point because I'm not Rod ain't here to speak for himself, but my point specifically was like, yeah, I get what you're saying. Yes, what you're saying is true. Yes, this is a learning experience for everybody involved, and if they had any hopes that this country gives a fuck about them and they're gonna have the opportunity to make a different life and have that gold road that they were promised. They know that that's bullshit now. But two things. I think the people that are the Haitian community in Springfield, they've been there long enough to already have come to terms with that. So saying that, hey, this is what it comes with, I think a lot of them understood that. You feel me? Which is why a lot of them went to Springfield to begin with, because they're like, this country is not what we think it is. And this is an opportunity to make good money and start somewhere fresh that's low key, that's under the radar. And one Facebook post completely flipped that shit upside fucking down. And I just think that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't necessarily about them. It's just what we're living in as far as a society where I, I can't say we're going backwards, and in a sense we are, but it's just there's too much nonsense that have become normalized, and we're seeing so many people's true colors, and it's just like what is going on? Like I tell people all the time, if it wasn't for my daughter, I would seriously be thinking about leaving this country. And it 100%. I try to get a nice work from home job, and I get the fuck out of here, bro. Like I get the fuck out of here, bro. Like, which is why I want to travel so much, because I truly want to get as far away from this and get a palate cleanser from what's going on in this country. And when you go outside of the country, you're just like, dog, what's going on in America is not normal, bro. At all, dog.
Is it?
Not at all, bro. It's
from what, like the political aspect?
The political aspect, just the way that we have weaponized politics, and because both sides stand to gain from making sure we're as divided as possible and making sure that both sides argue about nonsense. It's to keep us occupied. It's to keep us from not thinking. It's to keep our focus away from stuff that actually matters, which is why they go out of their way to keep talking about these specific things, because if we're not arguing about something, that's going to give us the opportunity to say, hey, well, what's going on with the policy that's going to, improve our life in this way? Well, what do you mean that policy that you're talking about? What does that really mean? Nobody's talking about their policies. Neither side is talking about their policies. And if they do, they answer the question about the policies and skim right past it, because they know that a lot of the policies that both sides have are bullshit, and they don't have actually any intention of actually following through on none of this shit. So that's the part that I just hate that we keep falling for this shit, right? So to give an example, a mutual friend is talking to a woman right now who happens to be a Trump supporter. And he was telling me how they got into an argument because she just kept questioning him on why he's not a big Trump supporter as well. And he was like, I don't really have an issue with Trump. I just don't care for the influence that he has as far as the rhetoric and the lack of accountability for the rhetoric that he spews, and seeing what it's doing and seeing how it's harming, the country, specifically, the Haitian community and stuff like that. And, a typical Trump supporter, oh, that's just the media. And it's just like, hey, at that point, like, what can we do, bro? Like, what can we do at that point? That's just where we are right now, bro. Like, people are being more naive than possible. We're supposed to be more informed and more educated than any generation before us. And I think that we are really fucking stupid. Like, seeing stuff like this, I'm like, oh, this is how Hitler got in power. And I'm not trying to compare Trump to Hitler. I'm just talking about how easy it is to manipulate the masses. Like, just dig into something that pisses people off. Right now on the internet, and again, I try not to make the internet bigger than it is, but right now, there is a burgeoning war between Black Americans and the diaspora.
The what?
Diaspora. That's basically African nations, Caribbean nations. Let's call it diaspora. There's a section.
I think you're pronouncing it wrong, bro.
That's diaspora. Yeah, dispor. Hey, diaspora.
Okay.
Yeah. So there is a
But if you know, it was always there.
It was always there. The difference is that, and from what I'm seeing, right, and I wouldn't say I've engaged with it, but I've had some back and forth with people on Twitter, and it's just like, what's blowing my mind about this is that a lot of Black Americans are not taking ownership of their involvement of why the beef is there to begin with.
I want to say that, and it goes back to part of our conversation from last week when you said that I want to be a revolutionary or whatever, that you cut out. But I understand that it was necessary. And also, part of it is, bro, when you don't know who you're supposed to be mad at, dog, you just got to keep, from my point of view, like, as much as you don't like it, but as soon as I sat there, I'm like, okay, there go my enemy. I can never literally try to hate another Black person.
I'm with you. Like, that's the part that blows my mind, bro.
So, like, but my thing is, as long as a group, as a community, we don't realize that, we don't see them as that. I feel like we're in a position where we are is because we keep putting hope into one day white people would accept us, and one day they will they'll treat us right as a group. But that's not happening. And as long as you don't realize who your enemy is, you gotta fight with your brother or your sister, or you gotta see it as like, oh, why you get to do this and why I can't do that, and stuff like that. And it was chosen. Like, they chose Caribbean people for a reason. They were just like, okay, we're not gonna give these jobs to Black Americans. We got Caribbean people coming through. Let them get the job. So that's where that hate come from, bro.
and it's like it's hard to have this conversation because when I have this conversation or the point that I want to make, the point that I want to make is going to come across as I'm siding with I'm trying to come against my black brothers, right? Like I can't do that. But you hear what like Springfield, to bring it back to Springfield, for example, right? Like that's not the Caribbean people saying that shit. That's the white supervisors and the white owner of the business saying, "Hey, I love the Haitians. They come to work. They don't miss work. They're always on time, and they're not on drugs."
But they most likely are paying them way lower than they're paying their Americans.
I don't know what they're paying them. You know what I'm saying?
We don't, but
you
I'm
feel
just
me?
saying.
Like I don't know what they're paying them.
That's just the history of what they do to immigrants, period.
100%. And again, like, and if they are paying them, you can't be mad that there are people willing to take less, right? Like, people get mad at the wrong institution. You can't get mad at somebody who's willing to take less. You need to get mad at the infrastructure to allow that to happen. People fail to realize we are in a capitalist country. Everything is about maximizing profits. That's the problem with America. It is a capitalist country. So once you accept that, how are you going to get mad at people that take less? Your enemy is the person that's willing to say, hey, I will pay for cheap labor rather than pay for people that's in my community that are also American. And that's why when I hear all of these people that are saying, hey, I'm going to vote for Trump, he's going to be harder on immigration, a lot of people don't realize Joe Biden has stopped more immigrants than than Trump did during his presidency, bruh. None of these people actually care because immigrants provide such cheap labor. Who do you think are paying for these politicians? The people that own these corporations. So you think these people that are paying and making sure and paying for their lobby and they're paying for all of this stuff is going to work against their own interests, which is to, stop getting cheap labor? No. We have been fighting with immigration as long as I've been alive. I'm 35 years old.
Yeah, but this country's built off of immigration.
Of course this country's built off of immigration.
I don't even understand why it's still a talking point.
It's a talking point because it's a talking point that always works. It always wins every political cycle. They're going to talk about this to the day we die. Again, it is to keep your focus off of what actually matters. Make you argue amongst people. Now it's trickling down to black people fighting against other black people.
I don't know. The only reason I say I don't know, when you pay attention to history, bro, niggas always been fighting niggas.
Niggas have always been fighting niggas, of course. Majority of black on black, the majority of a crime against a black person is committed by another black person. We understand that. But what I'm saying... No,
I'm not talking about in that sense. I'm talking about in the sense of, even if you found a position to make money, you're not doing your best to bring it back to the community and build the community. You do your best to just, set yourself up.
And that's another thing which blows my mind because it's like this whole thing. So to clarify, there's a movement called the FBA, Foundational Black Americans. That's a movement that's online. It's not a big movement. It's just people that you identify saying, hey, I'm a black American and my lineage has been here since slavery, right? Cool, whatever. I always laugh at that because I'm like, how are you calling yourself a foundation of Black America if you didn't found Black America? But whatever, that's neither here nor there. But they are taking exception to immigrants because they see immigrants as competition. They think because they're born here, they have a birthright to whatever comes with America. And to me, that's just misguided.
I mean, I understand that it's misguided, but once you understand that most black people don't know that they're Black Americans, don't know that they're Native American. Like, there's a bunch of things, dog, when you look it up, it's like, all they did was they took away the right to the land when they was just like, okay, if you have a drop of black, you're African, so you don't have a right to this land. A lot of niggas don't know they Native American. And a lot of niggas don't know how much they have a right to things. And it's just simply unfair, but again, it goes back to knowing who your enemy is, dog. Like, I can't hate any other. Like, I'm at the point that I can't hate any other black person. If I ever got in a situation where I need to hurt another black person, I would be upset with myself, but it would be something that I did not initiate it. And I'm making it personal, but going back to what you said is just, I don't know nothing about that, but hearing about that, it doesn't shock me. We're in a day and age where everybody want to make everything political. They made being black political with the Black Lives Matter, make it in a movement where they can make money off of it and stuff like that. So, is this something that's only on Twitter?
A lot of this is only on Twitter. When I start school, I'm gonna delete Twitter because I'm I deleted a lot of things. Like hearing y'all said that y'all. Well, you said you had a social media break, or that was just Rod that said that.
That was just Rob, but I was thinking about it.
Yeah, I'm keeping Facebook. Facebook is my baby, but I'm deleting Twitter. I deleted. I don't go on Instagram. I deleted a couple dating apps, bro. Like and it's not to have a cleanse. It's just so I could be way more focused because I'm seeing that I'm spending way too much time on Twitter, and you feel me? Twitter is just too negative. Like the worst people that you could think of are on Twitter, bro. Like the worst type of people.
Is that fair?
Absolutely. Twitter is a cesspool. Like Twitter is a bunch of people who are truly miserable in a lot of senses, and it's so easy to spew hate, and it's so easy to just say the most ridiculous stuff on Twitter because there's no repercussions. Like with Facebook, Facebook is more just regular people. You'll see some negative stuff on Facebook. For the most people, Facebook is more, friendly and more collaborative, more Facebook is chill. Instagram is pictures. So you're just looking at pictures and you're looking at videos. TikTok, you're looking at videos. Twitter is a lot of people who think they're a lot smarter than they are. There's a lot of people who have main character syndrome. There's a lot of people who truly feel like they're more intelligent, more clever. And it just brings the worst out of people. Like I keep Twitter when Twitter is at its best, it is by far the funniest app. Some of the funniest shit you'll see it on Twitter, especially during sports. But this past year and a half, it's just been awful. Like ever since Elon took over, it's been the worst it's ever been. It's truly a terrible app now.
Is Black Twitter still a thing?
No, there's no specific Twitter space, right? Because the way Twitter works is Twitter wasn't algorithm based.
Is it now?
It is 100% algorithm based. So like when Elon took over, he changed it and made it way more algorithm based. So like you could just have a community of people in different sections. Now you'll get tweets that show up on your timeline for people that you never met or you don't know who the fuck they are just because you saw one tweet like last week and now all of their tweets are on your stuff. So it's way more algorithm based and stuff like that. That's another reason because it's like a lot of the stuff that I'm seeing is stuff that I don't want to see anymore. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm definitely gonna delete Twitter for sure. Sure.
So when you start in school?
That's another thing, bro. Like, so I wanted to start school in 2 weeks because they have a session. Dog, when I tell you every class is filled up, bro, I'm like, yo. Because I did it. Remember when I said I'm gonna start? I said it, bro. I was at work and I seen so much people getting laid off. Like, and that moment, I said, yo, I need to put my future in my hands. I was still in my work clothes, bro. Got off, went straight to BC, and you feel me? Did my application. And the part that pissed me off was the fact that I only got 2 classes I got to take to apply for a program that I wanted to break. Like, and I haven't been to school in 5 years. I was that close this entire time. And, I had the relationship, I had the baby, and that's another point that I want to make. Fellas, if you are single, focus on you. Don't let anything knock you off your pivot.
That's easier said than done.
It's way easier. It's not easier said than done.
No, it's just easier said than done.
It's not easier said than done because it's about discipline and focus, dog.
No, I get what you're saying, but to be truthfully honest to you, once you have a kid, I understand people that's just like, damn, I don't got no time for food.
But this is what I'm saying. How do you have a kid?
Fucking around.
Thank you.
Niggas go fuck around.
And and the niggas who don't are the niggas who are successful. That's just what it comes down to. Like, that's literally what it comes down to, bro. Like, even with me, 2 classes in 5 years, could have been knocked that shit off. I just wasn't thinking. My mindset wasn't there. And it was funny because the lady was like, the advisor was like, oh, yeah, you, see, the last class you took was in 2019. I'm like, 2019? When was that? Right around the same time that I got with, my child's mother. Wasn't focused. I wasn't on my pivot. Niggas.
Life, man.
I'm not blaming nobody. I'm just saying that from anybody I talk to that's a man that's successful, that is something that they tell you. Get your shit in order before all of that shit, because it's gonna come eventually. Especially when you get your shit in order.
Oh, that's fact. That part is fact.
You know, and it's just like shit like that. I'm just like, damn, bro. So I'm not mad. You can't change the past, right? Like, who's to say mentally I would have, did what I had to do? Now, I would have, because I only had 2 classes left. So clearly I would have. You feel me? I put in the work. I bust my ass once I actually focused on school the second time I went to school. So I was there. It is what it is. I just wanted to bring that up because it was an example of exactly what I was told and what was preached to me, and I didn't follow it. You know what I'm saying? And here I am 5 years later getting back to it when I could probably already been in that career by now. Well into that career by now. That career is $100,000. That, depending on what state you're in, you can make $100,000 a year in that career.
What career are we talking about?
Radiation therapy.
Ah.
Certain states, bro, pay you $50 an hour for that shit.
Yeah. That's dope.
Yeah, bro. 2 classes. All I had to take was history and fucking chemistry, bro. And I could apply for this shit, bro. So it is what it is. I have to look at it glass half full versus glass half empty. The glass half full is I'm only 35. I still have so much time ahead of me. You feel me? I'd rather have this conversation at 35 than have this conversation at 55 or 65. You feel me? So it is what it is, man. God damn, bro, we 40 minutes in. Shit. All right, let's get into the Diddy shit, bro. Fuck. Yeah, man. Yeah.
But he gone, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's grits. Yeah, it's grits. I read the indictment today before we got on, and the craziest thing about the indictment is that there's nothing revelatory in the indictment.
Well, from what I could tell, dog, he was gonna give himself up anyway. The next day after Tuesday.
No, those are 2 different things. I'm not talking about when he got arrested. I'm just talking about the indictment. The indictment is the indictment. When he got arrested, the whole process of him get arrested is completely different.
So I don't necessarily know what an indictment.
So the indictment is basically what they're charging you for. The paperwork that details why they're charging you. That's the indictment.
So is it based off the raids they did before?
It's based off the raids. It's based off of whoever were witnesses. It's based off of whoever they talked to. It's based off of whatever they saw in all of those videos and stuff like that they have access to, which is, to me, the most egregious part of all of this. How do you keep those videos at your home, dog? Like I get it.
Where else you gotta keep it?
Not at your home. Not at one of your main properties, dog.
No, but think about it. It would be you have to entrust it somewhere else.
Yeah, basically he's in jail because he just he never thought this would happen to him, bro. And I don't blame him because he's been allowed to get away with all of this behavior for 30 years, but according to the indictment, since 2008, so 13 years. You feel me? So he's been allowed to get away with all this shit.
No, but my thing is, when you have those type of videos, who could you entrust, or where could you entrust it be safe at? Outside of your house.
I'm
saying
outside of your house, and if your house gets raided, like
yeah, but
I get what you're saying. There's nowhere else you could put it. The point is that's the point. You got to create or think of a place to put it for yourself. Don't tell anybody. The only reason why you move that way is because you think you're bulletproof. Like, I'm gonna equate it to, selling drugs. First thing they tell you if you're gonna sell dope is, hey, don't keep your dope or your bond money at your main house. That's the first place they're gonna kick down, bro.
Well, if he's sent, the only way I feel like it would be protected if you sent it somewhere out the country. If you have a home somewhere that they can't touch or they can't get to, any of the countries that they know that they can't reach out to, like if you had a place in Bali and sent the videos over there, I would understand that, but it's been a long time coming for him, and I'm not necessarily a person that's trashing him, but I'm not trashing him because he don't deserve it. I trash, like, we've been new, man. Once that video came out of him beating the girl down, bro, I just knew that was just extra fire on him, man. He knew the way he moved, he knew this might be the outcome for him. So, like, there's nothing shocking about it. It took a while to get to the point where they actually arrested him. And, we always sit there and we wonder, but when you have money, they know they have to come correct for you. This ain't somebody like on the lower level. This man is worth millions and hundreds of millions of dollars, bro. So when the feds come after you, they gotta come correct. And I just know that there's been a lot of people that's been down to do nasty things. People call it the freak off, but let's call it what it is. It's just the orgy, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's an orgy. People get they freaky shit off there. In a world where people pretend that sexuality is a crime and all that other stuff, I understand. But if you way more open minded, you don't think this is just him being nasty. Like most, if not all, outside of his girlfriend, who else did he force to?
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing with the indictment, bro. The indictment says that there's multiple women that was coerced into having drugs. That, man, you gotta think about it, bro. He was forcing women to have so much sex, bro. They had to have IVs the next day, bro. Like they athletes, bro. Like
that sounds wonderful, man.
Not to them, nigga.
Of course, not to them, but having so much sex that you dehydrated, bro.
Well, remember, it wasn't just him though. Like, he had multiple women, and he was paying, male escorts to just fuck women. Like, clearly, his thing was watching women get fucked, right? And a lot of people are like that. There's words and there's terms for it.
It's live porn.
Yeah, and the difference is that what happened and where he went wrong is, and I'm not gonna say he went wrong. This was a choice. This is just who he is. You feel me? That's who he is. Oh, what the fuck are you doing, bro? Get this nigga off the field, man.
That's a field goal? Hey, could that be a flag?
Oh, it could 100% be a flag, because you're right. 100% be a flag, bro. All right. But yeah, back to what I was saying. You gotta understand that what's being alleged against him is the prostitution, the arson, the
Wait, with the prostitution, are they thinking he a pimp?
Yeah, because he's using his financial status, he's using his leverage, he's using his standing, he's using his money, he's using his business. Because basically, what they're saying is, from 2008 to now, Bad Boy Records and all of that stuff was just a front to run this organization, which is he doing, right? Now, I read the indictment. The indictment, other than him blowing up cars, which we already know about, it was just confirmed in the indictment, which is crazy. It didn't really explain anything, bro. It just basically said everything that we knew about. But to the point that you were making, though, he just went way too far with it, bro. Like this was his thing. It was drugging women, making women take drugs, making women have sex, and using his influence and his power to do that. And do that a lot and a lot and a lot and a lot and a lot.
I mean, from my understanding, it wasn't just women.
Women, but from the indictment, it's more or less it's about what he was doing to women, based off the indictment I read. It wasn't about it was him using intimidation tactics. It's him bribing witnesses. It's him trying to conceal evidence. It doesn't have anything about killing people. It doesn't have anything in regards to Kim Porter or anything like that. You feel me? So anybody who's going to go ahead and read that, cool. But there's nothing that is in the indictment about Kim Porter. But it was more or less about intimidation, trying to strong arm people, stuff like that. And I was just like, because we've known for this for so long, maybe that took the sting out of the indictment. There's nothing in the indictment that we didn't know.
Well, I honestly didn't believe he was going to get arrested. I only thought that because
once they raided his house, you should have known that they were going to arrest him. The Fed, you got to understand, this is the feds. The feds are not going after somebody as high profile as Diddy unless they know they got his ass.
Yeah.
So once they raided his house, you should have known that this is what it was. and stuff like that, right?
I think it's just because it took so long.
Yeah, but they're gonna make sure it's airtight. They're gonna talk to the people they need to talk to. They're gonna get all the witnesses. They're gonna corroborate multiple stories because they know what they're going against. We're going against somebody who's damn near a billionaire who could get the best lawyers that money could buy. You gotta be on point. This ain't no regular street nigga. This is a multi-billionaire who has multiple connections in the industry.
Yeah.
You're gonna make an example out of him.
But not hoping, but what I thought because from my understanding, a lot of people showed up. A lot of political people, a lot of people with power and stuff
Same
like
thing
that.
with the Epstein. A lot of people showed up to them shits too. You see that nigga quote unquote killed himself. Now, we don't know what's gonna happen with Diddy, but you want to know what's damning? Usher wiped his entire timeline on Twitter.
You think he gonna show up in that?
I know he's gonna show up in that. Remember, before Usher was signed to Atlantic Records, who was he signed to in 1994?
Bad Boy.
He was signed to Diddy. He was signed to Diddy at 15 years old. Diddy, and I'm not trying to use this word in the term that is most associated with it, but Diddy groomed him. And again, I can't say he groomed him as far as, sexually. I just mean that he legitimately groomed him. Now, anything sexual, I don't know, so I'm not going to speak on that. But I know for a fact that he groomed him in the sense of he had him around at 15 years old, and Usher, by his own words, grew up around that lifestyle and went to those kind of freak offs at a very young age.
Are they gonna hold that against him?
I don't know. I just know the fact that he decided to delete his entire timeline lets you know that, yo.
You think it's coming?
I don't know what's coming. It's just there's something that either there's something on them tapes, and I know TMZ is going to spend so much money to get those tapes. We're gonna see what's on those tapes eventually.
Well, eventually, yes,
Eventually.
but not anytime recent, bro. Like I get when you say they pay for it, stuff like that, but if the FBI already got it,
you think TMZ gets tapes of everything? They have leaks everywhere.
Yeah, but from the FBI,
yes.
Wouldn't that be a crime?
No, as long as, hey, bro, I don't know who gave this to me. It just fell in my lap. You don't tell your sources. You don't explain where you got it from. You just say, hey, this fell into my lap.
So it happened before where they got a federal video from feds. They did that before?
I mean,
because the only thing I'm questioning is, even if you say that, bro, all they have to do is look at who got some money somewhere.
Yeah, but the thing is that they're not going to investigate it because the feds are the ones who leak it. Why would we investigate something that we leaked?
Okay. The only reason I feel like they would leak something is because they want the court of public opinion.
The same way that hotel video got leaked of Diddy beating the shit out of fucking Cassie.
But did the feds have it before?
That was from the raid. What happened? The raid happened, and then we saw the video afterwards, correct?
I don't recall the time.
That's what happened.
But okay.
We saw the raid, and shortly after that, the video came out after that.
That's nasty work.
So, so yeah, we're gonna see, unless they feel like they don't need, and they clearly don't need, the court of public opinion, which is why the Cassie video got released in the first place. That was to get the court of public opinion, because everything changed once everybody saw that video. Conversations completely changed. It was no damn, all right, we can't really defend that. So, yeah, that boy Grizz. And he got denied bail. His bail was set for $50 million, and then they got denied. He's been considered a flight risk. He is going to get the R. Kelly treatment. We will never see Diddy again. Now, based off of the indictment, I would look at it and be like, I don't know how y'all going to really prove that he was extorting people and stuff like that, but I'm pretty sure there's so many witnesses. Like, there's so many witnesses, and it's all in the details. It's all in the wording. It's all in how things are worded. You feel me? That's a mistake that we made, or I can say for myself, that's a mistake that I 100% made in regards to the Tory Lanez case, right? When he got convicted, I went back and I actually looked at what he was charged with, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah. What were we ever arguing about? There was no way he was never not going to get convicted of what he was convicted of. You feel me? We were concerned with saying, "Oh, he shot Meg and he didn't really shoot her." Never got charged for shooting Meg. He got charged for firing off disarming a firearm as a convicted felon.
In that situation, I felt like the only reason he went to jail is because he didn't do what we quote unquote say that you shouldn't do is snitch.
He went to jail because a nigga didn't take a plea deal, nigga. That's why he went to jail. You don't have to snitch to take a plea deal.
Well, but if he snitched on what's her name, then he would have got off. Because the whole point is,
no, he wouldn't have. Remember, Gerson, he was not charged with shooting anything.
Remember the guy told. If that one guy don't even touch the stand, I think he's free.
If the guy doesn't touch the stand, he's free. The problem is you can't go to trial and take that risk. That's the problem, bro. You can't go to trial and take that risk, dog. And that's why that nigga sit in jail now. If he would have took the plea, he was gonna do a year, and not even.
Yeah, well, you don't know what a year.
Now, granted, you're risking for more. A year is better than 5.
No, but if you feel like you free, you ain't do that shit. Why the fuck I'm gonna take a plea?
The problem is because it's dumb. If somebody says you shot me,
no, but that's him fucking up. Like I said, if that nigga, because I don't believe he shot the gun. I still don't believe that. But if that nigga,
hey, bro, the minute that man got on the stand and said, "Yeah, I just seen him shooting a gun and stuff," it's over, nigga. It's grits.
Yeah,
nigga.
But if he didn't.
That's besides the point. And again, that was his witness, right?
That's my point, man. It's just like, God damn.
One of the greatest. Remember, Tory. Not to get too caught up on Tory, but we have to point out. I can't have no sympathy for Tory. The original lawyers on Tory's case said, "Hey, you should take a plea. There's too much circumstantial evidence against you for you to beat this." The nigga fired them and just hired whoever was willing to be on his side, bro. If that's what you want to do, I can't feel bad for you, dog. I'm sorry, bro.
With that information, that's fair. You know what I'm saying? The plea was the easy cop out, but sometimes you want to fight, bro. Like,
hey, I feel you, dog. But if you go through multiple lawyers, if you go out of your way to find the one lawyer that says, yeah, you could beat this when multiple lawyers say you can't, I can't feel bad for you, dog. I'm sorry, bro. Like, that's a dummy test, bro. And you failed with flying colors, my nigga.
But apparently this is the only something I heard. Like, P. Diddy's spending $2 million a month. The lawyers he getting.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you why P. Diddy is grist. And that's my favorite part about the indictment, because if you look at the indictment, they go by all his names. So it's like plaintiff or whatever the fuck it's called. Sean Combs, aka Diddy, aka Diddy Love, aka Love Man, aka P. Diddy, and every line is that. I was laughing. That shit made me laugh. That shit made me chuckle. That shit had me laughing, dog. But no, Diddy's lawyer, they had an interview where it was like the lawyer said it. Yeah, my what's it call it is kind of troubled, but you know he's gonna fight this. When your lawyer says you're trouble, bro, it's grits, nigga. You're done, nigga. You're done, bruh. Like, it's over, bruh. And that's just where we're at with this shit, dog. So, God, I need these niggas to win. Hell, dog.
Good luck with that, fam.
I know, bruh. But yeah, bro, that's just where we're at, dog. I just find it to be, and I just find this whole situation to be crazy, bro. Like this man, Cat Williams, ordered a portal to hell, bro, and this is what it's at. This is what it is, bro. This is what it is, bro. This man, Cat Williams, really opened a portal to hell, bro. This is what it is, bro.
Well, hopefully this doesn't drag on, but it if he's got to fight tooth and nail, it will. But hopefully it don't. And like for every victim out there, bro, I'm sorry you had to live that. Understanding what the music business is, seeing that a lot of people have been higher up in other music execs or whatnot are standing down or, you know, giving up their positions. It just makes everything seems a little bit weird, but we always knew the whole music scene has been a network. And I wouldn't be surprised with a lot of them motherfuckers being there through the orgy. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, if you're into the music business, at least, I feel like everybody wanted to do a Diddy. So you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't mind to be there, see some artists and shit like that. So I wish the best for everybody that's been involved and been a victim to nasty stuff. Cause the orgy is awesome when nobody's forced to be there. No one don't want to be there, they shouldn't be there. Or as simple as that. I'm saying don't force that type of shit on nobody. Cause some people are not into whatever you call it. But I just want to say I wish healing on a lot of people, better, mentalities and stuff like that. I just want that for everybody that was involved and on the wrong side of it.
Hey man, you gotta be off with that soft spoken bullshit, bro. Like not even coming up on the meter, my nigga. Like
I'm sorry, man. That's just how I operate sometimes.
Hey,
Man.
that shit goes.
I don't even try. It just happens.
Yeah, I
man.
bet you. I'm gonna have to give you some headphones, bro, because all of that shit didn't even come up on the recorder, bro. Like
That's
that shit
cold
ain't
as
got no.
ice, man. I thought I was on that bitch.
All right. Any last things though before we get about it, bro?
Hey, shout out to the Zoes. I seen somebody I follow. I seen that they went to like a carnival in Tokyo, bro. It just looked awesome. I didn't know they were doing it like that, having soca and stuff like that out there.
Tokyo it's ironic. It's funny, but there's a lot of Tokyo in particular because that's really the only place in Japan that's like that. Other places in Japan are way more traditional, but Tokyo specifically, even though it is very Japanese as far as the people that live there, there's a lot of different people that live in Japanese, but it's mostly Japanese people there. The people that live in Tokyo adopt a lot of different cultures, bro. You're gonna see cholos. You're gonna see fucking like Memphis jigging is real big in Japan right now in Tokyo, bro. Like hip hop is big. So reggae and dance hall and soca. I don't know about soca. This is new to me as far as soca, but dance hall is huge in Tokyo. So I know there's a lot of people I follow like that are travel YouTube and stuff like that that go to Tokyo. Like there's just different clubs. There's a hip hop club. There's a dance hall club. Like, and you go there and you think you're like it's crazy. So yeah, don't be surprised. Like that's
shit like that. That's what made me like. Hopefully, I'm getting my passport in a couple of weeks, and when I get it, I just hope that as much as I can be out of here, bro. Okay?
Yeah, for sure, dog. For sure. Just be prepared, nigga. That's $1,100 minimum.
That's fair.
Yeah. When I seen them tickets, I was like, ooh. I'm like, ugh.
No, but if you really want to get out of here and really want to see the world, bro, what do you? Now, granted, you need to make more money, but
facts,
but,
which is
but
why,
would that be,
yeah, which is why I'm trying to change my career and stuff like that. Just so you feel me, stuff like that. So, but nah, it's on my bucket list. It's definitely on my bucket list. You feel me? Like Tokyo is on my bucket list. Switzerland is on my bucket list. The west side of America is on my bucket list.
What do you mean by the west side of America?
Montana, Wyoming.
Are you not feared? Because I'm gonna be honest, that's why I expect to see the most races.
No, you're not. There's nobody there. It's just nature. It's literally. Remember, this is a little known fact: 80% of the U.S. population
It's on the east side.
On the east side of the Dixie line, whatever that line is. Nobody's there. There's nobody there, bro.
Well, outside of California.
Outside of California. All those other states, nobody's there, bro. Like, so outside of California, Nevada, and Arizona, nobody's anywhere else. And Washington State. Wyoming, nobody's in Wyoming. Nobody's in Utah. Nobody's in Montana.
But from what I understand, that's why those are where all the rich people live. It ain't gonna be cheap to go over there.
No, but the thing is it's you just gotta be prepared and you gotta have a good itinerary. You don't want to get lost. Like it's just listen. When I went to Vegas last year and we went to the mountains and stuff like that, that was my favorite part of the trip. The casino and the food and all of that was cool. But when we went out to the mountains, we barely had any fucking signal. You feel me? It was cold as shit, but it was just so incredible, dog. I was like, it was breathtaking. Like it was legitimately breathtaking. Just seeing like what this world has to offer and how nature adapts and just seeing the infrastructure and how because it's a desert and how because there is no water there, how the world adapts to that, the mountains and all of that stuff, and then the texture. It was just incredible. Like, I was 100% my favorite part. You feel me? And that's when I know I was like, oh yeah, I definitely got to go see more of the West Side. You feel me? Because that's where you're gonna see the nature. That's where you're gonna see the big forest and the buffalo and the bison and all of that shit, bro, and stuff like that. So yeah, like there's a show on Netflix. I can't remember the name, but it's shot in Ontario. It's supposed to be quote unquote in Montana, but it's shot in Ontario because Montana looks like it. One of the most beautiful shows I've ever seen, bro. Just seeing it, bro. So I'm just saying, I'm just like, yeah. So I definitely want to see that side or whatever. So yeah, those are all on my bucket list. And I tell people, bro, there's nobody stopping you except for you. That's my motto when it comes to traveling. Nobody's stopping me except for me. All right, man. We'll see y'all next week, though, man. Episode 134.
Thank you.
One for the Bucks, man. Deuces.
Yep.